Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Sam. Sam is from California in the USA. So let's see what Sam has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Hey,
Hello,
my
Sam.
man.
Hello, Sam. How are you?
You're good. Can you hear me okay? I
Yes, I
I
can.
I'm I was just I just did a podcast episode, so I can take this off if this bothers you or and just use my
No,
earbuds.
if you
Okay.
feel comfortable, yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
Awesome. I'm excited, bro.
So, how are you doing today?
I am good. Where are you, by the way?
I'm based in London, the UK.
I lived in London for a year, almost 2 years, long time ago. Back
Wow.
in
And
yeah,
where are
South
you?
Ken,
Where are you based right now?
Santa Barbara, California.
And that's the place where you're born and raised?
I was born in Connecticut. I've been in California over 20 years, going on 23 years. But I've basically been here most of my adult life. I grew up in South Florida, and but I spent the first 10 years of my life in the Northeast. Yeah, for sure.
Mm, What a coincidence. I literally just had an interview now with a lovely man in Los Angeles, and he's from Connecticut as well.
Oh wow. Us Yankees, I call myself because I did spend my teenage years in South Florida. I went to college in Florida. I call myself a Southern Yankee Californian. You might not get that if you're from the UK, but no. Okay. Southern, living in South Florida, Yankee from Connecticut, Californian. So there we go. You got it.
And if I'm not wrong, he's been at the same time as well in California, like I think 2023. I'm not sure, but it's such a coincidence. My God, this mall is very small. This world is very small. It's crazy.
It is synchronicities abound, my friend, for sure.
So Sam, tell me what you do for work, for living.
Yeah, I'm an ADHD coach and an author. I just we just launched a book about ADHD, my journey with ADHD, called Beyond ADHD, and I have a podcast called The Fearless Now. So yeah, I'm a busy man, but I have always have time for you, bro. So
Amazing. It's good to be busy. I think when you are busy, you keep your mind away from the little evils that come sometime.
we call that the monkey mind. Um,
Monk mind, I like that. Monk
or I
mind.
call it the ADHD House of Horrors when we get up here. We're swirling around in our intellect, and it gets the best of us. Yeah, for sure.
So before we start the interview, so walk me through a little bit about your journey as a coach, AHD coach, how everything started.
Well, I've been a coach in some capacity since 2007. I have my graduate degree. I think you call it your master's degree. I don't know if you call it the same thing in the UK. Postgraduate degree in conflict resolution and public policy. And I was working and living in for a short period of time in DC, working for um, think tanks, public policy based think tanks, environmental public policy, mental health public policy, mostly mental health and environmental. And I was bringing stakeholders together, bringing people with opposing views together so they could find a solution to some of the problems that stakeholders usually have. Right? We're seeing that now in the Middle East. We're seeing that, we see that with companies and governments all over the world. And so my role as an ombudsman, a mediator, and a facilitator was kind of a natural dive or pivot into coaching because I've been coaching for most of my career. Um, Before that, I was in pharmaceutical marketing. I worked for Lilly and Pfizer and a couple other companies in my right after college, and I love sales, but I hated people telling me what to do. So I went I went off on my own. I wanted to be my own boss, and I opened a brick and mortar practice in Santa Barbara in 2007, early 2007, and I was trained in the alternative healing arts. So I did Reiki and I did energy healing, and I'm also a trained acupuncturist. And you're looking at me, William. You're like, well, what does that have to do with coaching? Well, it's a Venn diagram, right? So what I found myself doing is I would be doing acupuncture or Reiki for my clients, and it ended up turning into a real conversation about their life, where they are in their life, where they want to be, what are some of their pain points in their life. Fast forward to now, me being someone who was diagnosed with ADHD about 25 years ago, and being misdiagnosed over the years with learning disabilities that I couldn't even tell you what they are, and feeling like I've been mislabeled, like, nope, that's not me, but you're close, and every psychologist kind of like, well, we think you're this week, you're a little bit OCD, you have a little bit of anxiety, or you have to laugh at it all, because it's better than it's a lot easier to laugh at your frailties, right, than cry at them. Eventually the ADHD diagnosis stuck with me, that I saw myself as someone that has a mind that works differently.
Mhm.
And that I'm not the sum total of my labels in the past about what doctors and school administrators and teachers thought I was, and that I just have a mind that is really fast moving and creative and compassionate, but I forget stuff sometimes. I lose my keys a lot. I can get overstimulated sometimes. I can, just feel overwhelmed by its noise, by too much stimulation, and that's okay. Once I learn how to use my ADHD mind to work for me, none of the ADHD manifestations are a problem I need to fix, because I know what it is, and I don't take it on as something that's truth, that I can see beyond my temporary, thought turbulence. And what ended up happening is I ended up starting working with folks with ADHD, or some folks that are on the spectrum, or folks with learning disabilities that really it wasn't that they weren't smart, but they've been segregated in their education, put in temporary classrooms with kids with learning disabilities and all kinds of stuff. They felt broken, misunderstood. They didn't know how to express what they needed in their relationships, or in their or at their job, or in their relationships. And I'm like, well, maybe they just don't understand, and it's very innocent too, that we think that, like, our thinking is real in the moment, that there's something to our thinking when it's dystopic, or our quality of our thinking is in a low state of mind, that means something, that we're all one thought away from a new experience. I began to see for myself and help others see, like, that's not who you are. Like, you get distracted sometimes, but what is distracted thinking really telling you? What is overwhelm really telling you? What is overstimulation really telling you, versus what we think it is innocently? We have it backwards. So I began to work with clients, and now it's kind of snowballed into having a full-time coaching practice, and which led me to write my book, Beyond ADHD.
Amazing. I think it's, again, when we start healing process, or something that we have, or something that we realize that we have, and at the same time as well helping other people, I think it's the biggest joy, because somehow you are, sharing experience, you are helping people, and I think people appreciate that, helping them through our own journey as well. I think that's the big joy. Okay, so during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life, about your journey, and your point of views as well, okay?
Sure.
Sam, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Want to get on the magic carpet, right? Let's do it, brother. Let's do it.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Full of random questions. I'm just gonna play a song now, just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. right. Okay, Sam, before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, first question for you is, how would your best friends describe yourself?
Compassionate. That's the word that came to me. Compassionate.
Why is that?
I think having ADHD, because for a lot of ADHDers, we feel very misunderstood a lot of the time, especially growing up. We were able to take the side of the person that is that also doesn't feel like they're part of society. You right? So we can empathize with people a lot, and I think ADHDers are also very intuitive
Mhm.
and understanding and patient, and I think that that's a quality that I've been able to see within myself over the years as I think I'm an adult. I'm adulting, but you know, some days I don't want to. Adulting's overrated. So, yeah.
It's good to be, around our inner child. I think that's the best feeling. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love being there.
Yes. Yeah.
Next question. Okay, Sam from California. Next question is, which movie had a big influence on you?
Oh boy, that's a great question. Okay, it's a movie with Robert De Niro, 1989. It was called Awakenings. And do you know the premise of the movie, the story? It's an
I'm
old
not.
movie.
I think it's with Matt Damon. No, no, it's not.
No,
No,
no, no,
no.
no. That's gross.
Okay.
That's gross. That's Good Will Hunting.
Yes.
Um, Awakenings about this psychiatrist. He's a neuropsychiatrist that discovers this drug called L-Dopa that helps awaken his patients from a catatonic state. So their brains they're in this state of this, what's the word I'm looking for? They're in a kind of a vegetable like state.
Mhm.
Due to, I think it was due to some kind of brain disease they picked up. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but it kind of changed the way I looked at what's possible. Like at any moment we can have something amazing happen. That life's full of miracles. That we are a miracle. Every person alive right now in this moment is a miracle. The chances of you being you are pretty, those odds of you being you and me being me is incredible. But then in any moment it can be taken away, because at the end of the movie Robert De Niro's character, he goes back into that vegetative state after really experiencing the world for the first time in decades. He was comatose for decades, and to really being appreciative of this gift called life, even though I know that sounds very kitschy and Instagram meme worthy. It's so true. Like, we're alive right now. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And life is living us. We're not living life, and it's like, it's just amazing. Life's amazing. And it can be taken away from us too. As quickly as we came into this world, as quickly we can leave this world. So it's like the movie Awakenings is a real kind of wake up call. It was a wake up call for me when I saw it. I was 14, I think at the time, 15. And I was like, it was sad. The ending of the movie was very sad, but it's such a gift to the world, because it really shows how fragile life is and how you should appreciate every moment.
Amazing. Actually, I never heard that before. We are not living life. Life is living us. I love that, Sam.
Yeah.
I never heard that before. I never thought about that. That's amazing. It's so true.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is.
Just made my day. It just made my day now.
Oh,
What's new in my life? I love that. Wow.
my
Life
pleasure.
we live in us. We're not living life.
Nope.
Great.
We're not at the controls, but we think we are. Think. Quotes, right? And that's the thing. That's what I teach with my clients. I teach my clients the nature of thought, how mind really works from the inside out, and not how we've been conditioned to believe it works. So like, life's living us.
Amazing. Very good.
Yes.
Next question. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, let's talk about beyond AHD. No, sorry, I'm gonna say it again.
It's okay, you got it. You got it.
Yeah. So before the next question, let's talk about beyond ADHD. Yeah, your book.
Yes. Yes.
So tell me, for you, when was the moment that you thought, okay, let me write a book about it. Let's put all everything together. And the second part of the question is, what was the biggest joy for you writing your book?
I want to answer the second question first, if I can. The second question, what's the biggest joy that I had, was the first page that I wrote, the dedication, because the people that in my life, that if it wasn't for them, the book would never have been conceived and created. It was my partner Jeannie, my parents, my sister Shari, my niece and nephew Levi and Mirabella, and my brother-in-law Gideon. And all of them were my biggest fans, and they've seen how much I struggled in my past, growing up, and what's possible when we really let life live us. And then in the first one, the first question you had is will you repeat it again? I'm sorry.
Sure. When for you, when was the moment that you realized, okay, let me write this book. Let me put
Yeah.
all.
I wrote another manuscript before that, that we could turn into a screenplay if we decide to do it, that had nothing to do with ADHD, about things that happened years and years ago in my life. And I looked at it, and it was close to 75,000 words. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is, you know what? This is not me anymore. Like, this is not me. I don't want to birth this into the world as a book. It's a great screenplay, but like, you know, I'm doing really well with life. I'm doing well with my practice. I'm doing well with my relationships. Things are going great. What book can I write that's going to bring real value to people and change their lives? And then I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking outside of me. I'm like, why am I looking outside of me? Well, let me go inside, not inside, but look within my heart. And then I'm sitting at my desk in Santa Barbara, and I'm looking at, I can hear the ocean because we're across the street from the ocean. I can hear the ocean, the waves crash. And I'm in Santa Barbara, California. It's like, it's like I'm feeling very blessed. I'm like, I'm going to share my journey about ADHD because the gift of ADHD got me here. Yes, you could say, well, it was just fate, or it was, a family, or my ex partner, that because we drove across the country together years and years ago to get to California. But no, I want to share why ADHD is a gift and why it's your superpower. And once we learn how to use mind to work for us, and that was it. It's like, I want to be of service to so many millions of people with ADHD that think they're broken. Let me write a book that can change the way they look at their psychology and their life and what they've endured. So that was kind of the birthing of ADHD, beyond ADHD.
Okay. Next question for you is, what scares you the most about your future?
What scares me the most about my future? Okay. Actually, nothing. Because when I'm scared about my future, I'm up in my head. I'm letting my brain create all the tragic stories about what, the shoulda, woulda, coulda, or the what ifs. And I know that none of that is real. that if I just I sit with it for an hour, I'm gonna be onto something different, and I can't trust the scary, the goblin in the closet, or the boogeyman. But I think if I watch the news too much, I'll be really scared about my future. But that's not based on any reality that is worth diving into. That's not the Netflix movie I want to rent or watch for the night because it's made up. I mean, the stories my mind is telling me about the future is made up anyways. So I think like I just need to be focused on right now.
Amazing. Very good. Next question,
Yep.
Sam. Let's do it.
Yes.
Next question for you is, what's your idea of a perfect day?
It's like that Lou Reed song. You know, it's such a perfect day. You know the song? Old school song. Okay. It's like that Lou Reed song, but my perfect day is waking up in the morning next to my partner, us making pancakes and omelets, and then taking my board and going to the beach, and just that's it. And, and being in the water and being outside, and then having a barbecue with my family, and swimming and being in the pool, and listening to good music, being with all the people I love during the day, and then at night coming home and watching a good movie, and that's it. Repeat.
Do you consider yourself to be more of a day or night person?
Ooh, I'm definitely not a morning person. I'm a more like a mid-afternoon and then night owl for sure. Yeah, yeah. You ask any ADHD if they're a morning person, they'll give you a dirty look because we're not, especially before coffee, for sure.
Ready for another question?
Yes.
Let's do it. Next question. Right, as you mentioned in the beginning of the interview that you lived in England, in the UK before, yeah?
Yes.
So I would like to answer the next question with your best British accent, okay?
Oh boy. Are you serious?
If you'd like to, why not? Would you like to try?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Next question for you is, who was your favorite teacher and why?
You want to do it in a British accent?
Yes,
No,
let's see how.
No.
Okay.
No, because I can't do the Cockney accent, and like the Kings. No, I can't do the Kings either. I'll let you do it. What's my favorite teacher?
I'm from Brazil, and my accent.
I can hear it. I can hear it.
I got
Yeah.
some. No, I cannot make a British accent.
I love it. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Brazil. Oh my god, gorgeous country. Okay, so my favorite teacher. I don't remember her name. It was in fourth grade. That's she was she never gave up on me. She was a real nurturer and educator in the truest sense. She would always, you know, when I would say I can't, she says, "Yes, you can, Sam. Yes, you can." I never had a teacher say that to me before in the past, growing up, and I think that it's lacking today in this very strange world we're living in right now. And I think it's hard today for teachers to, as much as they want to, because they do love their students. And I think it's innocent that they just get caught up in their own stories and thinking about what it's like to be a teacher in 2023 with all the other responsibilities they have as a teacher and the administrative stuff and the politics of being a teacher. It was just, and again, it's such every generation says this, but I'm 49. So in 1981, it was such a different time than it was in 2023. So I every teacher out there listening, I applaud all of you because it's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. But it's, yeah, I forgot her name too, and maybe it'll come to me. But I forgot her name. But she was such a special, kind woman. I could still see her face. Wow. She was like this tall Italian woman, and you know, if you crossed her, she would. No, you didn't cross her, but she was very kind to me, and saw my light. And for a teacher to see your light when you feel so vulnerable and misunderstood and feel like the world's on top of you when you're you're diagnosed with a learning disability or some kind of something wrong with you, um, that's a bright that's very special to have that. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you sharing that, Sam, because I was picture myself at school at the time as a like young teenager, and I had a teacher that she, as you said, she saw the light in me, and I remember being bullied at school at the time, but
Yeah.
for some reason, when she was around me, I felt safe. I felt I could be myself, and she was quite tall and she was imposing. I remember her, and actually, I invited her for the Magic Box, and she did the interview with
Oh,
me.
wow.
She did, and also I told her that situation, and she was almost crying because she said, "William, at the time I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I was doing my job. I was like I was supporting kids. I was there for themselves, for them, but I never realized. I didn't know that I was doing that." I said, and I told her, I said, "Look, you have no idea." When you were around, she was doing physical education, when you sports involved, and I loved it. And I remember her stand up for myself, and the bullies was trying to get me somehow, and she was there, and I felt the safest person because I knew she was there. And she said to me, "William, I never knew that," and she was very emotional about it. And I think
Oh, wow.
those teachers, as you know, they give us a big impact in our life that they don't even realize that sometimes.
Yeah, it's like I think that's just that's one of the gifts of being alive and seeing the gifts of the synchronicities and the gifts in life by just being present and being having your eyes open is the fact that um the positive impact that you make on people, and we don't realize it half the time. You hold the
Totally.
door for somebody, right? Help someone
Abs-
cross the street. I know this is very idealistic to say, uh,
But
because
it's
of the
true.
world we live. It's so true, and the
Yeah.
impact that she had on you, I mean,
Yeah.
is was monumental. And,
Totally.
and imagine what that those other teachers out there, like, that's what I'm talking about, and it's rare. Not that every teacher doesn't have that ability to do that. I just think they're just too busy, and they're just trying to survive themselves. But when you have a teacher goes extra mile like that, man, every teacher
Absolutely.
has that ability. Every
Tot-
teacher.
Totally. And I'm sure other teachers, they give a big impact on other children's life. You know what I mean? So
Oh
it's so
yeah.
that's what how I see it.
It's like she was chosen as your guardian angel for whenever that period of time.
And
That was a gift for
and
sure.
have this moment after so many years, having this moment of her hitting the magic box. It was
Oh
like
wow.
it was my way of say thank you to her, like back to her,
Yeah.
and she was over the place. Amazing.
Very special.
3 questions left. Let's do it. Sam, before the next question, tell me what's the most frequent questions that your clients they ask you when they start, a journey through your career as a coach. What's the most frequent question that people ask you, or that you deal more with, like when you are, coaching people?
The most frequent question is how can you help me if I feel broken all the time? That's one question. Did you ask was do you wanted two more? How many questions did you want?
No, no, just like this question, like what the most
Right.
frequent ones
It,
that's
a lot of my like I have my, one client that I'm working with currently, and this is the current thing, very successful um person uh who's going through a major divorce and diagnosed ADHD, and is just so overwhelmed with the noise in his head, which ADHDers can, if they don't see it for what it is, it can be completely kind of hijacked by the noise in the mind because it's super loud. Because our ADHD minds are very busy, very loud sometimes, and all he kept hearing is "I'm broken." See, this is another example of I can't keep a marriage, right? I can't keep a relationship together, and I can't I can't get my stuff together. I can't manage life in that way. And we hyper focus. ADHDers tend to hyper focus on whatever it is that's our growing edge, or what we need to we think we need to fix in our life, what we need to um, improve in our life. We hyper focus on it because we're so used to being scrutinized, criticized. So that question is, something that a lot of my clients will ask me, and they don't see that entire question is based on not on any truth whatsoever, but based on whatever thinking they have that they think is true in the moment. And that's where like it can hijack their peace of mind and their well-being. And that's why they come to me, because they've never been told that, there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes marriages end. Sometimes people die. Sometimes life sucks. But why
Totally.
are we so afraid of life sucking? Like, we've been conditioned to believe in society that we're supposed to be scared of life sucking. But who said that? Why are we scared of suffering? And why we try to avoid suffering? Well, yeah, it doesn't feel good, but that's just what's going on right now for some people.
Let's see. Okay. Next question is, when was the last time that you cried and why?
When was the last time I cried? October 7th, 2023.
Wow.
I don't think that needs any more explanation.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm referencing? What happened in Israel on October 7th, 2023? Seeing people butchered for no reason, not one reason, just because they're Jewish, just because they are Israeli. And the atrocities that happened there are next to the Holocaust was the worst thing that happened to the Jewish people in 80 years. So yeah, that was the last time I cried.
And sometimes you think, my God, we're in 2023, and you hear the things and these things happening. You go like, my God, are we living backwards? Like it's sometimes it's unbelievable to believe that. Sometimes you go like, no, it's not happening, or how it's happening. Sometimes you have those questions, and again, it's a place that we are, and as we were saying before about living, in Santa Barbara, you've got the sea. We are in such sometimes we forget how privileged or lucky or grateful, you know what I mean, because there are places and situations that happening that they don't even have a choice, and it can be hard and can affect a lot of people as well, being outside and
but I think what ends up, and I just to add to that, what was a question for you is, do you ever have dark thoughts, unsavory thoughts, negative thoughts, bad thoughts? Of course, but you don't act on them. You use discernment. You have a thought factory that you use discernment over, and can make, like, you don't birth into the world every dark, unsavory thought that comes through your brain. We have them all the time, every human being on the planet. Well, that's the dark example of when people birth thoughts into action that are unsavory, homicidal, and or murderous. Right there, that's exhibit A. So I believe there's goodness in everybody. I believe that everyone has a light within them. But I do think we oscillate in different levels of conscious awareness, and that's a perfect example of when our consciousness is devoid of God completely. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know that's deep.
No, just it's just what's happening, and we are sharing the moments, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Right, 2 questions left for you, Sam. Let's do it. Next question is, tell me, what's the biggest difference between you and your partner?
Ooh, that's a good one. What's the biggest difference between me and my partner? She has more patience than I do. Yeah, 100%.
And the biggest similarity?
We both love life together. We have the best time together. We you know, we know how to celebrate life, and we know how to enjoy the moment, every little moment. She's full-time caretaker of her mom, who's just turned 80, who will be 80. She's 84. She'll be turning 85 in June. And that it's been difficult, but it's also been a blessing because we've really been I've been getting to get to know her mom, but she's got a lot of responsibilities. But even within that huge responsibility, being full-time caretaker of your elderly mom, we still have the best time with her mother. I mean, it's wonderful. Like, we get to share our fun with her mom. Her mom's just a lovely human. She just can't take, she's she had breast cancer and stuff. So like, and some cognitive decline. So it's just been wonderful to like still enjoy life, even though she has my partner has all this other stuff that she needs to take care of, but yet we still can have the same relationship that we had when she wasn't taking care of her mom full time. So yeah,
Easy. I can see her right now smiling. Listen to these beautiful words.
yeah. Oh, she's a bright light, Marilyn. If you're listening, but you're not. But she's a bright light. And so is my partner. They're just. You can go on my Instagram and see her. She's a bright light. They're both just amazing humans. I'm very blessed in that respect.
I think I've seen already. I think I saw a picture. I think I saw the thing about it.
Yeah, we even look alike. We're just, Yeah.
Ready for the last question?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last one. Before the last question, nowadays people they talk a lot about ADHD, and I think it's I don't know if it's because social media, a lot of people like you know what I mean, exposing your job, open about your journey, but a lot of people they're understanding more. They are kind of try to to look for help or to to get more understanding about that. Why do you think nowadays people they are more open and more it's everywhere right now? People talk a lot about that. Why do you think in the past it wasn't like that before? Like, what do you think the difference that the world we live right now, people they are more open and understanding and looking for help and talking about it, but in the past you never heard that before? I don't remember like growing up and listen to that.
So I think I understand your question. You're talking about why people are more comfortable talking about ADHD.
Yes. Why do you think it's more? You know what I mean?
No, it's a great question. Love that question. And I'm glad you asked it. It has to do with awareness and education. Because one of the blessings of social media, besides meeting you, William, because social media brought us together here, is the fact that there's a lot of good information. There's also bad information too on ADHD out there for ADHDers to access, or for people that are curious about what ADHD is. And I think just technology has been a real has made people, especially kids and young adults in college and in middle-aged people like me, more comfortable in sharing it. Because it used to be a stigma, and I think in some parts of the world, I mean, there are a lot of parts of the world people don't even know what ADHD is, and it's unfortunate because they're labeled as slow learning or low achiever, or is never going to go anywhere because it can't sit still, or gets in trouble, talks out of turn, like all of those. But because of what we know about the brain now, and what we know and how information is easily accessible, it's such a jumping off point for people to really get educated about what ADHD is. Now, the understanding that I share about how mind works and what ADHD is a little different from the straight ahead mainstream perspective about ADHD. And I'm not in agreement with the very traditional perspective about what ADHD is and how it works, but that's okay. I always say, when people come to me, I said, you know what, don't listen to what I have to say. Do your own research, do your own, go out there and explore and see what else is out there. Try what I'm saying on for size. And if it doesn't make sense to you, then great. There are plenty other coaches out there, practitioners that are sharing different ways of looking at ADHD. If this doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. I always say, don't listen to what I'm saying. Try it on for yourself. And I think for me, as an ADHD coach and also a fellow ADHDer, because we have access to instant information, I don't have to be scared for people to dissent or offer dissent of my and what I am sharing, because all they have to do is go to another practitioner. They don't, if what they're hearing from me, what I'm sharing about how mind works and how ADHD works is not right for them, they can go find another coach. Or it's brilliant. It's a huge world out there. And there's not one size fits all approach to helping folks with ADHD, whatever works for you. And I think that's very powerful. So I hope that answered your question.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. And I think it's about information. It's about people that are more open and approachable about that as well. I think that's why people, they are more opening about it.
Yeah. Thank goodness. It's about time.
Last question is, which talents do you wish you had?
Which talents do I wish I had? I wish I could fly an airplane. I've always been, because I love flying. I love surfing, and I love, doing some crazy sports out there, that in the water, that you got to have a little bit of a adventurous gene to do. But yeah, I would love to learn how to fly. It's just so expensive these days to really expensive to fly.
And if you could fly anywhere in the world right now, right this moment, where would you fly?
As I mentioned to you earlier, I would love to go to Rio or go to Buenos Aires. Not Buenos Aires. Oh my God, Sao Paulo, or check out Brazil.
Yeah. Wow. Good point.
Yeah, you'd be my tour guide. You could take me around, but it's like
absolutely. You take your plane, you fly all the way to London, pick me up, and after we fly all together to Rio, to Brazil.
There you go.
Amazing.
I've always wanted to go to. And all the Brazilians that I met, it's just been so much fun, and just good people. And where I grew up in South Florida, a lot of Brazilians.
Yeah. Florida, a lot of the Brazilian community there is big. My goodness, a lot.
Santa Barbara, believe it or not, has a nice Brazilian community. There's actually a Brazilian cafe. I mean, it's compared to LA, but I'm just saying Santa Barbara's a small town. Yeah, it's a delicious Brazilian cafe downtown. And I just, take me to Brazil, bro. Let's do it. Let's go.
Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay? One word for family.
Togetherness.
Money.
Abundance.
Fear.
Tenuous.
Wow, I like these words. Tenuous. Wow. One word for life.
Expansiveness.
Love.
Forever.
Religion.
Dogma.
Sex.
Yes, please. No. Enjoyable.
Politics.
Quagmire.
Friendship.
Essential.
Desire.
Fickle.
Regret.
Changing.
Success.
Sometimes.
Wish.
Life.
Happiness.
Always.
One word for Santa Barbara.
Riviera.
One word for Connecticut.
Constitution.
USA.
Experiment.
One word for HDHD coach.
Sam. That's not a
Of
word.
course.
That's
Of
my name.
course.
Right. Yeah, I love it. Go on. Sorry.
And the last one now, Beyond ADHD, your book. One word.
Love letter.
Wow, I like that actually. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your lovely partner for a coffee and I'm going to ask her, define Sam in one positive word and one negative word only. What should say?
Curious.
As a positive
So that's a positive.
and negative?
Stubborn.
What's your star sign, Sam, on astrology?
Gemini.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, you have to go by the ascending sign because that's really what our persona, which is Libra. Yeah.
Easy. Let's play now Sam and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now, Sam.
Okay, give me a second. What was the main reason you created this amazing show?
Wow, great question. 2020, the world went literally upside down, and I think all of us, we were, in a place where we didn't know what was happening. Did not knowing was a bit scary. Not a bit, a lot of, anxiety, a lot of things happening that didn't know what was happening. At the time, I was already thinking about doing something on YouTube where I could express myself, where I could connect with people, but I didn't know what. I didn't know what I could do. One day, here in England, in London, you could leave the house once a day during the lockdown for the exercise or for run.
Oh, wow.
And so I was doing once a day. I was in the afternoon, I was going for a run in the park. And one of those run, this idea came along, and I was like, wow, that's something what I'm going to do. I'm going to create questions. I'm going to research some questions, and I'm going to literally just throw out to people around the globe to see what they think, their point of views. And it's been a great journey. I think the whole point of the show, it's about connect with people, sharing energy, experiences, and also share your point of views. They are not right or wrong. It's just your point of view. That's what matters. And at the same time as well, bring information the same as you are. It's amazing to connect with people when they are sharing their lives, and at the same time as well helping people. And I think the show is all about that. It's about being yourself, without any judgmental, without doing anything that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. And I think it's been a great journey. Over 1,000 people already participate on the show. And
wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I just reached 1,000 interviews not long ago, and you have no idea. I feel like it's the greatest joy. The same joy you have when you are
You need
coaching.
Yes, I do.
It's the same feeling as well when I'm doing the show. It's this feeling when you are doing something that it comes from your heart, from your mind, from yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, and I can tell how much you enjoy doing it, and how much joy it gives you. But you've just met. Now you have 1,000 friends.
It's true. It's
right?
true.
So now it's like it's a win-win. Yeah, that's wonderful. And
thank you.
Now you need to do 2,000. No pressure.
Well, let's start the journey for 2,000.
All right. Not gonna.
Did you enjoy the interview, Sam?
I'm sorry. What?
Did you enjoy the interview?
I loved it. Let's do it again for sure.
Thank you so much thanks for taking the time, and again, thanks so much for being so open and talk about your experience in life and about your journey so far. And I think again, it's about helping people. We appreciate that when you talk so open about things, people they connect with us and they appreciate as well. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yes, and I'm going to quote one of my mentors who's no longer with us, Sydney Banks. He said, if we were all just not afraid of our experience being the thoughts in our head, right? That alone would change the world. If we weren't afraid of our psychology, that alone would change the world.
Wow.
Yep.
And I'm gonna finish the interview with something I've learned with you today. Let's life live us, not live life. I
Life is
love
living us, my friend.
yes.
Yep.
Every day, every second, right now.
Right now. Yep.
Thanks so
That's the
much,
truth.
guys, to your partner, to her mom, and to your family, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.